everybody, it's Jason Shadrick with Premier Guitar, and we are joined today by Mark and Alistair from Emerald Guitars, all the way from Ireland, and they're going to show off their new line of acoustic electric synth models. So, how are you guys doing?
Hey Jason,
doing good.
How you do?
Good.
Hi,
All
Jason.
right. So we heard Mark there on the intro with some synthy, electric, quasi acoustic tones, even. So, Alistair, you're the founder of the company. Why don't you tell us a little bit about how you got started and kind of the origins of Emerald Guitars?
Yeah, well, I guess my origins are maybe a little bit different than most guitar builders. I studied polymer engineering, found myself working in St. Louis building Formula One racing boats back in 1994. And there I kind of put together my knowledge and my interest in composite construction, my interest in guitars. And it was around about that time I got this crazy idea to try and build a guitar with carbon fiber. Then I actually did that for the very first time, I think it was 1998. Summer of 1998 was when I first built one. And it was one of those things that I did as a hobby, as a distraction. And I enjoyed the process. I thought I was quite good at it. Tried a second one, tried a third one. And then I think by the time we finished the third one, I was pretty much hooked on it.
Now, do you still have those early models?
I do.
Okay.
I actually, the very first one actually hangs in my office, and it's hideous. It's an ugly looking thing. It doesn't have strings on it. It's not playable. And recently, actually, well, a couple of years ago, we were marking our 20th anniversary, and I looked at it and I pulled it out of storage, and I thought, I'm going to fix this up. You know, we know how to paint a little bit better now, and we know how to put frets in properly. And I thought, maybe I could tidy this up. I thought, no, actually, it needs to be left as a marker of how far we've progressed. So it hangs on my wall in its horrible state, and it's a good reminder of the journey.
Yeah, I think one of the earliest models you built was the Steve Vai Ultra also.
Well, yeah. So the guitar that first left my possession was actually the Ultra guitar for Steve Vai, which I think a lot of people probably know and have seen around the world.
Was that the one for the Ultrazone tour?
Well, it was inspired on the Ultrazone tour, but it was only played. He took it on tour then subsequently in the what was the name of the tour? Around about 2012. So yeah.
Oh, okay.
So he toured it quite extensively for 2-3 years at that period. But
Nice.
yeah, cool thing to have built.
So the guitar that we're talking about today has acoustic, electric, and synth elements and outputs. So why don't you kind of walk us through the general setup of the controls on the guitar there?
So, okay, so really what we wanted to do with this guitar is make something really versatile. And we're starting off with an acoustic platform. So it is one of our acoustic guitars. It's a slim body version of one of our acoustic guitars. But we've taken it and used it really as an electric platform. So at the heart of it, we've got a set of Fishman Fluence humbuckers. And so we've got basically a pretty conventional electric guitar setup here with a volume and tone and a three-way switch. But what's really cool with the Fishman Fluence is the fact that it's got 3 voices built into it. So you've got the classic humbucker sound. If you pull this up here, it gives you like a more kind of hot rod, modern humbucker kind of sound. You pull this switch up and it gives you single coils. So really you've got that versatility of 3 voicings all in one setup. Then we've got piezo sounds. Being an acoustic guitar, obviously it has to have acoustic pickups. So we've designed this acoustic bridge, so it's a fully intonatable, more electric style bridge. And it's got 6 individual piezo pickups built into it. And you can blend that here on the volume control. And then you've also got a tone preset as well, and that just kind of is like a mid-dark type preset. Also then, because of the fact we've got 6 piezos here, it gives us the opportunity to have a 13-pin output to allow us to go to MIDI or synth sounds, and that's controlled here on this volume control. And then we've got a little 3-way control that allows you to go between magnetic sounds, magnetic and piezo, and then piezo sounds. So it's really versatile in the number of different sounds and tonalities that you can get out of it. But it also gives you an awful lot of control because we've got a stereo and mono output here for the for the piezo and the magnetic. So it allows you to split those signals and adapt them differently. If you want to maybe put your magnetic onto your your electric setup, your electric amp, and then maybe your piezo going to your board or to your acoustic amp. And then you've got your 13-pin output. So it really allows you to kind of handle all three of those signals in a different way. So it gives you a lot of control. So that's really the controls in a synopsis.
All right, Mark, let's start with maybe some acoustic sounds. Let's have you switch over to that.
Sure, okay.
And for this video, what people are hearing is you just going straight to a DI right into your interface, right?
That's straight into the interface, yes, Jason. Nothing in between at all. Just all on just a DI box. So you're getting straight piezo there. Also, I'm using electric strings on this particular Virtuo, so it is a little bit of a different sound to the acoustic strings, obviously, but the slight tonal difference. But you can it still gives you a lovely, nice and warm piezo there.
Now let's move over to the magnetic side and have you cycle through some of those sounds.
Sure, okay. I'll just start with the neck pickup on this one. I'm going to split that coil just for the moment and give it more of the... Flip that back in again, and we've got... Okay, so what I've just done there is I started with the neck, switched over to the bridge and split both, and then give it a little bit of the humbucker. Did a boost on that hot rod also as well too. So the hot rod signal. Okay.
All right, now you got the synth all hooked up. So tell us about kind of your signal chain that we're going to hear for the synth.
Okay, so running the synth, we've got a volume control for the guitar synth connected to a Boss SY1000 guitar synthesizer. So 13 pin out into that, and at the moment I've just got a deep pad set up. So I'll give you a little bit of that. It's also got a lovely Leslie organ tone that I like to use. Yes, plus many other great tones. The Boss unit is very versatile. It's got a lot of cool stuff in there.
I would imagine with being able to cover acoustic parts, electric parts, synth pads, keyboard parts, maybe that if you were a fairly adventurous looper, that this type of setup would really kind of work for you.
Absolutely, and I think that's what Alistair designed the guitar specifically for. Was somebody that's very much needs a lot of instruments in one hand without changing over too much, and I guess you can kind of do that with the Virtuo. You can get your bass sounds, your key sound, your pads, your electric, your acoustic, even a little bit of percussion if you want to go there. I think that was your inspiration for a lot of it, Alistair.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, really, this guitar was inspired about 18 months ago, and back at the start of the lockdown, everybody was having to stop having normal gigs, and there was a lot of live streaming going on, and Mark was one of the early live streamers, and every Sunday night from the beginning of March last year, he was doing these Sunday night live streaming sessions. And Mark would go back and forward between electric sounds, acoustic sounds, doing a lot of looping, and just building up a one-man show. And that really kind of inspired me. We all kind of watched these things on Sunday nights, and a couple of other guys as well that we used to watch. And I just see these people performing and really trying to build out a big set with limited resources. And I thought, well, why can we not maybe put all those things into one guitar? So really this was a whole idea of, making a guitar that is a perfect platform for somebody like Mark that likes to, seamlessly go between those different genres. And, just a tool that delivers that really well. So
I've got to say it really worked also, Jason, because there was one stage I had about 11 guitars lined up in a rack for a live stream beside me. And I think the last live stream I only used this one.
There we go, right?
So there you go. The proof is in the pudding.
Yeah, if the load in is easier, then it must be a success,
Yeah, there's not much of a load in the front room of your house, but I can understand. I get it all right.
Yeah, no, and it's interesting to see how it opens up so many different tonal options. And I think what's really cool and what I love hearing is whenever they're all blended together, and whenever you're blending those acoustic and magnetic sounds, and then adding that little bit of spice of the synth over the top. But they've also all got their own unique characteristic, and one of the things that I wanted to do with it, instead of just making a solid body guitar with a lot of technology, I wanted to build an acoustic instrument, and that's really what's true to what Emerald's about. We build acoustic guitars, and I think that comes through in the magnetic sounds, comes through in all the sounds, because it's you've still got that little bit of an extra reverberation and the warmth. I think if you just have a solid body with piezo pickups, it's still hard to really get the resonance that you get from an acoustic guitar. So it definitely adds a little bit of an extra dynamic to the whole thing.
So Alistair, by now people want to know, what will be the pricing and availability on these new models?
Okay, so availability is a little bit limited in terms of stock right now, because our stock sold out pretty much instantly when we launched this thing. But we have new stock that's replenishing all the time that you can find on our website. But the best place to connect with the Virtuo is if you go to our 3D builder. We've got a really good tool on our website that allows you to see all our models. But specifically on the Virtuo, if you go in there, you can see it. You can choose all the different hardware colors, paint colors, different types of veneers, inlays. You can choose whether it's set up with acoustic or electric strings, which is one cool feature with the Virtuo. So you can choose a guitar, build it in there, and then have it custom made for you, which will normally take around about 2 months. And pricing for the Virtuo starts at $29.50, and then runs up from that, depending on how exotic you want to take it.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us all the way from Ireland. Mark, we're going to have you play us out. This is Jason Shadrick with Premier Guitar. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for all of our gear demos. Thanks, guys.
Awesome, Jason. Thank you.